A portion of this video is sponsored by Google Career Certificates.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you too. Oh! Yay, 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 yay. Okay, I'm just gonna park. Okay, I gotta go outside and do this because this is just not gonna work. Hey, welcome back. I am Caroline and welcome back to my channel. In 4 days, I am going to be graduating from high school. I'm currently a senior. Holy freaking crap. This year has flown by so fast. Not even just this year, but like all 4 years of high school, middle school flew by. I'm speechless. I tell so many people this. It's crazy because whenever I was younger, on a lot of homework and paper assignments, you'd have to write your graduation year. I distinctively remember it was like 2015, this particular year. I don't know if I was in like 3rd grade or something, and I wrote graduating in the year of 2022. And so it was always weird because like I never thought that this year would come. I am so thankful for the privilege to be able to go to a high school and learn, finally be able to graduate. It's seriously insane. So I figured, what better way to close out this year, senior year, than by doing a little advice video. Whether you are entering freshman year this year, or you're a sophomore, junior, or senior, this advice can apply to you because it is never too late to take advice from somebody and start making changes, or just kind of, you know, ponder on what somebody's telling you. Without further ado, let's get into it. Take advantage of voice memos. I have had to do so many recitations this year. If you don't know what a recitation is, basically it's where you have to remember like a long poem, speech, excerpt from a book, and present it from memory. I don't know if it's just like a private school thing, but we had to do a lot of those where you stand in front of the class and you read something from like Shakespeare from memory, and it is absolutely terrifying, especially when you're given like this long to remember it. Whether you have that or you have trouble like comprehending information for tests, I would 100% recommend doing this because I have done it all year. It has helped me ace all of my recitations and get pretty good grades on my tests and quizzes, and that is recording yourself saying whatever your speech is or like a bunch of information that you have to memorize through voice memos. Everybody has it on their iPhone. Just go in, type voice memos, record yourself. I gave a speech from JFK's inaugural address, and it literally was like, the world is very different, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And so like I read my whole speech on here, and every time I would go in the car, drive to school, get coffee, even if you still ride the bus, because I used to ride the bus and do this all the time too, put in your AirPods or turn the volume up and listen to yourself on repeat, because I promise you, like, it will literally change your life. It has changed mine and made comprehending and just like the ability to remember things 20 million times better. So take advantage of voice memos. Seriously, thank me later. This is so good. Next tip is to invest in a good backpack. Freshman and sophomore year, I was all about the cute backpacks, and I kind of was like this through middle school too. I was like, well, I want to get a new backpack every year because styles change, all that stuff. It was obviously really crappy quality. Let me tell you, that's not the way to go. Throw that advice out the window and invest in a really good quality one. That way you can have it all throughout high school and you know that it's not gonna fail you. I would much rather prefer to buy an expensive backpack, say one that's like $100 or more than that, and keep it all throughout my high school knowing that it's going to last me forever, maybe even after high school, than buy like cheap $25 ones 4 times a year, and you would just be getting like 4 new ones, but the quality would be terrible. You would have to deal with it breaking halfway into the year. So invest in a good backpack. I promise it makes a huge difference. Thanks to Google Career Certificates for sponsoring this portion of today's video. This next tip is going to be extremely helpful for those who are struggling to decide whether they want to go to college, what they want to do after high school, or if you're just looking for a really cool experience to enhance on something that you're really passionate about and you want to learn more about. Google Career Certificates can get you on the fast track to in-demand jobs in 3 to 6 months with no experience required at just $39 a month on Coursera. In fact, Google recently launched the Digital Marketing and E-commerce Certificate, and these certificates are made by Google and taught by Google. They're Google Career Certificates across high growth fields like data analytics, digital marketing and e-commerce, IT support, project management, and user experience design. I started taking a certificate myself, and once you finish your certificate program, you'll have the opportunity to connect with more than 150 employers that are hiring. And guess what? There are 1.5 million in-demand job openings across the certificate field. Enroll now at grow.google/certificates.
Thanks to Google Career Certificates for sponsoring that portion of today's video.
Now back on to the next piece of advice. Really think about the classes that you want to take. I say this because you want to set yourself up for success. I am a very goal-driven person. Ever since I was younger, I've kind of known what I wanted to do. I know my niche. I know the things that fulfill me and make me happy and things that I want to pursue when I'm older. So if you set yourself up for success when you're younger by mapping out classes that you know you want to take, or you know that will lead you to where you want to go in your end goal, why would you not take advantage of that when you're younger? And just the fact that like time is on your side. For context, I did 2 years at public school. I've gone to this public school my whole life, and then junior year and senior year during COVID, I switched to a private school. At public school, there were so many classes for business, marketing, wanting to become a realtor, things like that. I used to do this thing called Tiger Daily News, which was the advanced audio and visual class where I would do the school news, and it really helped build my presence in front of a camera. And this was also really helpful because I was doing YouTube at the time. Whenever I went to private school, it became a little bit different. There weren't as many options for classes. I guess that is the one thing that I kind of really miss about public school, is just all of the classes that they offered. Even if you go to a public school and there aren't classes that you like, or you go to a private school and there aren't classes that have things like a business program or investing classes, you can always take courses online, join a club, because I know that there are so many clubs that offer these things. Make sure that you distribute your time between homework, friends, family, and time for yourself. I say this because there are a lot of things that I regret in life, obviously, as everyone does, but the one thing that I do not regret is how I distributed my time throughout high school. There's a lot of people who I know, one of which is my sister. I'm not gonna call her out or anything, but she's an amazing person, literally the most intelligent person I know, was valedictorian, got into literally every college that she ever wanted, but I know the stress and toll that academics took on her. I would definitely say that throughout high school, I have spent way more times with my friends than doing homework or studying. How I've spent my time is extremely different from Catherine. She was very focused, always studying, but you want to make sure that you're making the most of your high school years. I would say the 5 categories that I've made sure to divide my time up between is obviously schoolwork, because, you know, take advantage of the fact that you're going to school, that we have the privilege to go to school, family, friends, yourself, and God. Not everybody's gonna have 5, I understand that, but for me, I had 5. High school really does challenge your faith. I will say that. I'm still working on it every single day, and I'm hoping that in college I can continue to make that work, just like how I'm continuing to work on my relationships with my family, my friends, and even myself. So make sure that you divide up your time. Don't just stick to one thing and put all your eggs in one basket. Don't do it. Show up on time and be present. I don't know how bad I need to stress this, but you guys, going through the pandemic has made me appreciate my teachers 10 times more than I already did. Literally, my heart hurts so bad every time I think about how bad it was for teachers, especially when like kids would never turn on their Zoom or their camera, yet teachers would show up every day and give their best. Have respect for your teachers because they're there. Well, there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors and after school hours that we don't see. So just show up, you know. I mean, it's really not that hard to ask, and that also goes with being on time, waking up early, going to sleep early. It's all about how you prioritize your schedule, how you maximize your time. In some of my other advice videos, I think I had made an advice video whenever I was a freshman in high school. Maybe I'll link that down below, but I've said this before, I'll say it again. Keep an open mind to the fact that your friends are going to change. I know that's a really hard thing to understand because how I was 3 years ago, even last year, definitely not as mature as I am now, because every year, you know, you learn more things and you go through things that help you grow as a person. I used to think that the biggest issues in the world, or like drama that was going on with my friends, was literally like the worst thing in the world. The fact that there's always somebody that has it worse than you. You just don't think about things like that. That's just not how teenagers are wired. We think that things are the biggest deals. Well, let me tell you, I had a friend group of like 7 girls. I thought that they were gonna be my best friends forever. I'm not friends with any of them today. That whole friend group changed. Then I had a friend group where there were 4 of us. We literally thought we were best friends forever. We even came up with a nickname for ourselves. I'm not friends with any of them anymore, and you know what? I'm not upset about it at all because I know that our friendship just wasn't meant to last. but I wish them the best. I think it's better because our personalities, our values, our beliefs, they just didn't align. We need to condition ourselves to be okay with the fact that like if things aren't meant to be, then they're not meant to be. And why would you want to keep trying and holding on to a friendship that maybe isn't substantial because we have a hard time keeping an open mind to change? So be okay with change. Know that your friends are gonna change. I hope this doesn't scare anybody, but like I've gone through so many friend groups, so many different friendships. It's not a bad thing to go through friends because you can take things that you like from friendships and look for them in new ones. Don't take it for granted. I could really get emotional. Had a little bit of a crying session the other night because it hasn't really hit me in full effect that I'm gonna be graduating in 4 days. I know I'm gonna cry at graduation for sure, so be on the lookout for that video. You're definitely gonna see some tears. Seriously, don't take it for granted. At the beginning of this year, senior year, I was like, oh, I just want this year to go by so fast, all this stuff. I'm just ready to get out of here. And I did have senioritis like less than a month ago. Like it was pretty bad. But now that like I'm actually done, I'm literally so sad about all the things that I took for granted, all of the little coffee runs and last minute trips during my off periods in between classes with my friends to go get food or to go to their house. I'm just gonna miss it all. It's gonna be really hard not seeing Lexi, Gracie, Mary, Brooke, you know, of course all of my friends from public school. Don't take it for granted. It goes by so freaking fast. All right, I've got 2 more tips. Stay with me. Stay organized. So this is a huge one. One of the things that I hear from a lot of people in my classes is they're always like, Caroline, how are you so organized? How does your head just like not spin off with everything that you have to do? All the things in your calendar. Because I literally whip out my calendar every single day. There's like 50 million different colors and different like things on there. I literally write my whole life on there. I used to get planners at the beginning of the year, and then like halfway into the year I would literally forget about it, and then I just never wrote from like January on to the end of the school year because I just forgot that I had it. I truly think it comes down to if you have the right planner. So there are 2 planners that I would recommend. I've used both of these. I used the Erin Condren and the vegan booklet. That's all I know. I'll put the name of it on the screen. I used that all of junior year, used the whole thing, super great. And for all of my senior year, I've used the Lavendaire daily planner. I even recommended it to my friend Tori, who like sits next to me in math class, and she literally got it, and I'm pretty sure she's obsessed with it too. But having the right planner really makes all the difference. And then it's also about how committed you are. You gotta be willing to put in the effort to write in the planner. And I think that's one of the hardest things that a lot of people just have a hard time with. And then finally, my last tip is to be kind to everyone, regardless of who they are. Any beef that you guys have had in the past, just be kind. You know, you don't want to be known as somebody who was a mean girl in high school or a mean boy. If you're a guy watching this, build a nice reputation for yourself. Who you are and how you act towards people, or even your high school teachers, could have a huge impact on your life. Your high school teacher could somehow impact your future, whether it's with letters of recommendation or something relating to getting into a college. You never know what somebody's going through. There's so many things that I have found out about people that I have judged, and looking back, it's so silly because if I had just known what was going on, then maybe that would have explained why this person acted a certain way. Just know if somebody's being mean, there's definitely some insecurity, maybe some trauma or something going on. If you were just being authentically yourself and just kind to everybody, it can only get you somewhere good. So that is my advice for today. I know I've already said this, but I can't believe that senior year is over. It has been an incredible ride. Seeing all of y'all's comments on my last couple of videos, especially the ones where I went to both of my proms, when you guys have said that y'all have stuck around since like 7th or 8th grade, literally gets me super emotional because, you know, it is kind of crazy. My whole childhood has basically been filmed, and I get to go back and see how much I've changed and all that, and literally all the friendships that have changed as well. So it is really bittersweet, but hopefully you guys can take this video, let it register, let the cogwheels turn. Hopefully it can have an impact on you guys and it can be of use. So that's it for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, don't do anything. I love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Ciao!